right. We're continuing on with Science of Getting Rich. Outstanding. Let me get this muted over here. Get the music down. Hand pan. There we go. All right. So there's a lot of essence to today's conversation. And so you can read again. This isn't about a book club. This isn't about me reading the book and going, isn't that interesting? I'm going to read to you the things that I'm picking up that would probably be a little bit different than other moments, right? Other times you've read it. So we finished off yesterday with Napoleon was not the only man to discover that sex. Now, we didn't finish here. We finished on the next page. To discover that sex influence from the right source. This all comes down to source. It comes down to frequency. It comes down to energy. Where are you getting your energy food? Where are you getting your energy from? Where are you getting your good food from? Right? Because we convert it into something. If that sinks in, if that part of the conversation you grasp, if you understand that everything you are is a result of every place you've been. That makes sense? Everything you are is a result of every place you've been. And that's key to understand. So the energy you currently are is the accumulation of the energy you've been around, the energy you've decided to let in. Now, you do have control over that. You do have influence over that. So I'm on page 275 in this book, right? It doesn't have that. I colored that in to make it easier for you. Sex energy is the creative energy of all genius. There has never been and never will be any great leader, builder, or artist lacking in this driving force of sex. Now, it doesn't say having sex. It talks about the driving force, the frequency. It goes in a little bit more in detail on it in the next couple of pages. Chief among the stimuli with which this stepping up, right, stepping up of vibrations may be produced as sex energy. The mere possession of this energy is not sufficient to produce genius. The energy must be transmuted from desire for physical contact into some other form of desire and action before it will lift one to the status of genius. Let me say that again. Chief among the stimuli with which this stepping up of vibrations may be produced as sex energy. The mere possession of this energy, sex energy, is not sufficient to produce genius. The energy must be transmuted from desire for physical contact into some other form of desire and action before it will lift one into the status of genius. Far from becoming genii because of great sex desires, the majority of men lower themselves through misunderstanding and misuse of this great force to a status of lower animals. Why men succeed before 40. I discovered the analysis of 25,000 people that men who succeeded in an outstanding way seldom do so before the age of 40, and more of them do not strike their real pace until well beyond the age of 50. The fact was so astounding that it prompted me to go into a study of its causes more carefully, carrying the investigation over a period of more than 12 years. The study disclosed the fact that the major reason why the majority of men who succeeded did not begin to do so before the age of 40 to 50 is their tendency to dissipate their energies through overindulgence in physical expression. The majority of those who make this discovery do so after having wasted many years at a period when the sex energy is at the height prior to age 45 to 50. This usually is followed by noteworthy achievement. The lives of many men up to and sometimes well past the age of 40 reflect the continued dissipation of energies, which could have been more profitably turned into better channels. Their finer and more powerful emotions are sown wildly to the four winds. Out of this habit of the male grew the term sowing his wild oats. I have this underlined. The desire for sexual expression is by far the strongest and most impelling of all human emotions. And for this very reason, the desire, when harnessed and transmuted into action other than that of physical expression, may rise one to the status of genius. One of America's most able businessmen frankly admitted that his attractive secretary was responsible for most of the plans he created. He admitted that her presence lifted him to heights of creative imagination such as he could experience under no other stimuli. One of the most successful men of America owes most of his success to the influence of a very charming young woman who has served as his source of inspiration for more than 12 years. Everyone knows the man to whom this reference is made, but not everyone knows the real source of his achievement. History is not lacking in examples of men who attain the status of genii as a result of the use of the artificial mind stimulants in the form of alcohol and narcotics. Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Raven while under the influence of liquor, dreaming dreams that mortal never dared to dream before. James Whitcomb Riley did his best writing while under the influence of alcohol. Perhaps it was thus he saw the ordered intermingling of the real and the dream, and the mill above the river and the mist above the stream. Robert Burns wrote the best when intoxicated. For Auduline sign, my dear, will take this cup of kindness, and yet I think that's the New Year's Eve song, I think. But let it be remembered that many such men have destroyed themselves in the end. No satisfactory substitute for nature's stimulants has ever been found. Isn't that true? We understand today in medicine. Nature has the best cures, period, end of story. Nature has the best cures, end of story. It is in fact known to psychologists that there are a very close relationship between sex desires and spiritual urges. The creative faculty of the mind is set into action entirely by the emotions and not by cold reasoning. Through the sources, one may commune with the infinite intelligence or enter at will the storehouse of the subconscious mind, either one's own or that of another person's, a procedure which is all there is of genius. Doesn't sound right to me. I know it's right, but something in my head's saying it wrong. Though through these sources, right, sex transmutation, understanding that it's a stimuli, wanting to transmute it into something else, not the physical contact. Through these sources, one may commune with the infinite intelligence or enter at will. That's a big word, at will, 2 words, at will, whenever you want to, the storehouse of the subconscious mind, either of yours or that of another person, a procedure which is all there is of genius. A teacher who has trained and directed the efforts of more than 30,000 salespeople made an astounding discovery that highly sexed men are more often efficient salesmen. Highly sexed people are always have a plentiful supply of magnetism. Through cultivating and understanding, this vital force may be drawn upon and used to great advantage in relationships between people. The energy may be communicated to others in the following media. So here's how you can communicate your highly efficient energy. The handshake. The touch of the hand indicates instantly the presence of magnetism or the lack of it. The tone of voice, magnetism or sex energy, is a factor with which the voice may be colored or made musical or charming. Posture, the carriage of the body. Highly sexed people move briskly and with grace and ease. The vibrations of thought. Highly sexed people mix emotion of sex with their thoughts and may do so at will, and in that way may influence those around them. Body adornment. People who are highly sexed are usually very careful about their personal appearance. Usually they select clothing of a style of becoming of their personality, physique, complexion, etc. When employing salesmen, the more capable sales manager will look for the personal magnetism as the first requirement of a salesman. People who lack sex energy will never be enthusiastic nor inspire others with enthusiasm, and enthusiasm is one of the most important requisites of salesmanship, no matter what one is selling. Couple this fact that most people can be influenced only through the appeal of their emotions. This is important. The public speaker, orator, preacher, lawyer, or salesman who is lacking in sex energy is a flop as far as being able to influence others is concerned. Couple this fact that most people can be influenced only through their appeal to their emotions, and you will understand the importance of sex energy as a part of the salesman's native ability. Master salesmen attain the status of mastery in selling because they either consciously or unconsciously transmute the energy of sex into sales enthusiasm. In this statement may be found the very practical suggestion as to the actual meaning of sex transmutation. The salesman who knows how to take his mind off the subject of sex and direct that in sales effort with as much enthusiasm and determination as he would apply to the original purpose has acquired the art of sex transmutation, whether he knows it or not. The majority of salespeople who transmute their sex energy to do so without being in the least aware of it, least aware of what they are doing or how they are doing it. Sex transmutation energy calls for more willpower than the average person cares to use for this purpose. Those who find it difficult to summon willpower sufficient for transmutation may gradually acquire this ability. Those who find it difficult to summon willpower sufficient for transmutation may gradually acquire this ability. Though this requires willpower, the reward for the practice is more than the worth of the effect, more than worth the effect. The entire subject of sex is one which the majority of people appear to be unpardonably ignorant. The urge of sex has been grossly misunderstood, slandered, and burlesqued by the ignorant and the evil-minded for so long that the very word sex is seldom used in polite society. Men and women who are known to be blessed, yes, blessed, with highly sexed natures, are usually looked upon as people who bear watching. Instead of being called blessed, they're usually called cursed. Millions of people, even in the age of enlightenment, have inferiority complexes, which they have developed because of this false belief that a highly sexed nature is a curse. These statements of the virtue of sex energy should not be construed as justification for the libertine. The emotion of sex is a virtue only when used intelligently and with discrimination. It may be misused, and often is, to such an extent that it debases instead of enriches both body and mind. The better use of this power is the burden of this chapter. It seemed quite sufficient of the author. Well, we're going to end right there. That's a lot of stuff. That is creating a lot of new neural pathways because we don't talk about it that way. We don't talk about the urge and the desire and then transmuting it, having it, wanting it. It's not lusting. It's this desire to be of a highest nature, to be of a connection with another human being. And when that converts from being from the physical, when I guess the way that I was unconsciously competent about it is that I say I love everybody. I do. I love you. When I meet you, if I'm going to love you 6 months from now, why would I wait? So when I used to do my estate planning conversations, and I would be meeting with couples in their house, and I would leave, and if I just got this connection, if they just their heart was there and they were really, whether they bought from me or not, whether they were ready or not, right? They just had this idea, is this feeling. And I said, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I love you guys. And they said, when you went out to the car, which that's another sales technique, is to leave them alone for a little bit. And they said, we just thought there was something special about you. We love you too. We said that. It's odd. It's weird. We just met you. We spent 3 hours with you at the workshop. And then you came to the house here a day later, that afternoon, or 2 days later. And we were just excited that you were coming to the house. And that's really what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's not sex. It's the energy around that. It's the desire to want to be of connection with somebody. This idea that you can just fall in love with people. And that in today's society, I think, is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. I had higher sales than most. Yes. And if you love somebody, you'll let them stay where they are, right? They were, if what do they say? If you set them free and they never come back, they were never yours to begin with. So I still have customers. This is now 7 years later, still call me 7 years later. They have my card. They kept my card and they call me. I haven't been in that business for at least 7 years. So my point is that you can love people. You can truly love them no matter what happens, no matter how your paths cross or how your paths diverge. There's still always this connection. Silke came across some people that I knew years back, a decade ago. And they still have a good opinion, right? Be independent of the good opinion of other people. They still have a good feeling about me. And I of them, right? So my point is that this idea of sex transmutation gets a lot of people wired up, probably not us, but gets a lot of people wired up with the idea of talking about sex, right? It was such that I remember my grandmother the first time, and it stuck because they spelled words in front of me and I didn't know what the word was, but she said, I don't know what she was talking about, whether it was something on the news or what it was, but she said, that sex, and that just, there's a ring to that. There's a vibration to those letters, sex, in that order. Anyway, so I remember that from 6 years old, 5 years old, at the house in Ohio on 1324 Taylor Wells Road, Chardon, Ohio. Yeah, the farm that I grew up on. Anyways, questions, comments, thoughts, takeaways.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Silke.
Yes, I was blown away when Jim pulled up this message from you from 2012. That message, I mean, I couldn't even believe it. How does somebody keep this message for so long and still remember that they have this message from you? That's pretty crazy.
Well,
you're like speechless almost. I mean, I was like, wow.
No. What I was going to say is that it's not crazy at all, because the value that I brought to Jim, the value Jim brought to me, is significant. There is no time and space. You keep that because you want to remember that. So 2012 to now, that's 13 years?
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, to instantly have that available. Yeah, that's a testament to our friendship that really isn't that huge. We never spent in the last 13 years, we've probably spent 20 minutes in dialogue.
He said he had dinner with you in Del Mar or something.
Yep. Yeah,
Yes, you remember.
I
You
did an event.
remember that? Yes,
I
you
absolutely I
came to
remember it.
speak at one of his events. He
Yep,
said.
I spoke at one of his events as the vice president of sales of the company we were both in. Well, I was a distributor, then I went to become vice president of sales. But I went out. I appeared at his event as the VP of sales.
Oh, very interesting. Yes, that was because I invited him to your event,
Yep.
to your thing, and so that's what all this came about. But it was interesting that you thought it was a different man
Well,
when you
yeah,
first
I
met.
because he owned two. I forgot he owned. I knew he owned one network marketing company, and then a second one. But the guy I was thinking of is Mark McCool, which now that I think about it, Mark McCool was Florida, and you're West Coast, so it makes perfect sense, Jim Lutz.
Yeah, so I don't know who Mark McCool is, so
Right.
that's why.
That's
But
another
yeah,
business company owner. But
but so interesting. The message, I mean, even the content of the message uh, you sent, I mean, and I think you sent it on like Christmas to him because I think it's at December 25th or 26th.
yeah,
Wow. So you've been doing this for a long time, like,
isn't it neat to know that I've not been a big sack of bullshit?
well, I never thought
No. I know, but it's
you were,
no,
but
I know, but it's neat to see that what I've been, I teach what you do. Don't teach me what you think I should do. And that's the philosophy. There's two ways I can teach you: what I think people need to know, or what I've been doing. And I've been doing that for 13 years, at least with Jim. And Jim wasn't the first person that I did that with. So I've been
yeah,
doing
I'm
this
sure.
based right. So, but it is cool. And Jim's a great guy.
And
We've had, here's the thing: we've had our confrontations, and we've had our communications and our connections. And that's what makes relationships strong, is that they're willing to strengthen each other. So he's a good dude. He's a sharp and his hypnosis, his helping people with understanding through hypnosis and mind training. Pretty slick, pretty
His
amazing.
his I have seen him do that, but I always think it's fake
No,
when he knocks people out on, because I've gone to some of the events that he puts on in his apartment.
yep, in the penthouse
Uh
up there. Yep,
yeah, and because yeah, he's in San Diego, it's not very far from me. I actually wow, I've connected with him years ago. But anyway, it was, I mean, yeah, it's amazing how, I mean, people go back and they have these feelings about you, just like, it's so true. Uh, People will always remember, may not remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. That is so very, very, very true. And I'm sure when he received this message from you, he must have felt very good because there's not many people that I know that sent messages like that.
or
Actually,
keep them.
I don't think anyone has ever sent me a message like that. Just to send a message, maybe, but I can't remember because most people they may say I'm thinking of you or something like that, but otherwise they don't. I mean, yeah, I was pretty blown away. Yep, high energy misfits is your shirt this morning.
Yep,
Do you have
that's
that
who we are.
made or somebody give it to you as a gift?
No, I had it made. This shirt's probably a decade old.
Wow, I like your background today.
Thank you.
It's uplifting. It goes with your sex transmutation,
That's it.
which I'd never heard of, but I chat GPT'd it. And it said, yes, of course you can. And it said where it comes from too. Um, the book you're just reading.
Yep, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah,
Yep.
but yes, I think this is very true because you have many people that don't connect with others, and you saying the people thought they love you. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I really, I really connect with people, and for me it's not difficult to tell people I love them, but I have noticed that for some people it's very difficult to say that. Why do you think that is?
Well, because a couple of things. One, you as this powerful, strong, beautiful woman, when you say that, it's hard for sometimes other females to say it because they feel jealous of you. They haven't released that frequency. You're blonde, you're tall, you're this, you're that, you're an attorney, you're smart, you travel, you have freedom. Again, it's their impression in their mind. It's the story they're telling in their mind. And women can be, oh, shall we say, a little vicious.
Yeah, it's very true. It's sad. I don't know why men are not like that with each
No,
other.
because we don't have to compete with each other. We go out, we hunt, we're solo animals, right? We need community, but we're
That's
solo
funny.
animals. We're the ones that go out and hunt and do this, and we may hunt together and we bring back the food. But as far as needing the other guy's appreciation or needing him to be in my pack, women have to pack together. That's why they go to the bathroom. Two of them go to
Oh
the
my God,
bathroom.
when you just said that, that just popped in my head just before you opened your mouth.
Yep. So that's instinctive. I got to go to the bathroom. Oh, I'll go with you. It's like I can you imagine? I'm getting up from the bathroom and Jim Lutz would go, "Hey, you going to the bathroom? You want to go to the bathroom?" I'm going. Like, are you freaking nuts? I would pee myself at the table before I go to the bathroom with another, right? So that's different. So when you say I love you, there's a resistance of people for the most part to say I love you back with any frequency, with any positive intention because they're jealous.
Hmm, interesting.
So
I've never thought of that.
yeah, and so you're this again, you're this exotic. In Germany, you're not exotic. You're Silka. But here you're exotic. You got the accent, you got the blonde hair, you got the height, you've got all of this travel, and so people are constantly building comparitis. I'm not as good as her. I haven't traveled. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go right. And so there's all of these things that they say they can't do that you've done. What they don't realize is there's 1,001 things they've done that you couldn't do, nor maybe ever want to do, nor could ever do. But we never hear about that. They don't hear about that. They're in this constant comparitis, right? There's very few people who have done what I've done. Matter of fact, I can't think of, in my circle, no one has done what I've done. In my circle of my like external friends, not my inner circle, my 500 friends, nobody's done what I've done. They may have traveled. Awesome. They've never been in a paper mill. They may be in paper mills and coal mines and power plants, but they've never traveled. I'm such an odd duck that nobody could ever talk to me when I was growing up because I didn't give them anything to talk about because I made it talking about me. They're like, well, I mean, I don't know what you were raised on a farm. You went to private school. You traveled the world. You didn't go to college. You were the head of your class. You were given the one who did the most in the Dale Carnegie class, the one who did the most. Only one person out of all of the entire class gets that. Everybody gets a whole bunch of awards during the 12 weeks, but only one gets that. So there's all of these things that make me unique, that make you almost unapproachable. And when I learned that I kind of had my sign up that said, "Hey, here's all the things I've done. Let me help you." Nobody's gonna ask for help. Nobody wants to help. How could they even have a conversation? It's like when people meet their idol. I don't know what to say. How about hello? Right. So
Right.
you are this exotic here. Your accent, again, all of the things, right? Your accent is a big one. So that makes you an exotic. That makes you different. And then once they look for different, they try to look for what's the same, and they can't find too many things that are the same. So you get to use that to your advantage. You get to make the story about them, and therefore you build rapport with them and their own story. It's you helping them see their story. When you can help them see their story, the reason that people fall in love with us, with me, is I make them fall in love with them. It's the way I make them feel.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
So There you go.
So thank you, thank you, thank you. And
You're
I
welcome.
was
And thank
happy
you
to
for
be.
sharing that. You could have kept that not that you kept it a secret, but it may not have been impactful enough to share the story because I wouldn't have known that Jim sent you a message from 2013.
Oh, he made sure to also tell me to share this with you. I was,
Oh, well, I
but
will
I had
send him a
already.
message today.
Yes, you should. I had already shared it with you because I immediately shared it because it was such an amazing thing, and I love, to share things, and that's why I also put it in the Misfit group so people can see how, people still think of others. Not just you, but I mean, in this case, it was you certainly, but that they can also see that you actually do. I'm like, oh, look, yeah,
Isn't that cool that I
look
actually
at
do what I
what.
say I do?
Well, I figured you'd do that, but I
Right.
mean, actually, to see that and that he kept it, and I'm like, 2012. Oh my God,
And he had
that
it instantly, didn't he?
yeah. And
Yeah.
then he said, oh, I must have a photo somewhere. Just hold on, I'm gonna find it. And he sent it, and I was like, who were the other two people? I actually just messaged him this morning when I was looking at it again and said, who were the other two people?
So those were his business partners at the time. So it was Jim Lutz and I can't remember the other guys' names, but I know though they were all in the company that I was the vice president of at the same time and building. Oh, I can't remember, but
Well,
I do
I
remember
hope
Jim.
I hope he will remember. I'm sure he remembers
Oh, he'll
because
remember. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because yesterday I was so busy, so I didn't it did dawn on me because I'm just looking at the picture and it was much darker. I actually made it lighter so you could see yourself better.
No, I love it. Yeah, I was a little heavier and my hair wasn't gray yet.
Yes, yes. How old were you
Well,
then?
13 years ago, I was in my
40s?
40s. Yeah, late 40s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
it's funny so that he still had this photo too and everything. Wow. That's pretty amazing. I
So
mean,
again,
just
that again, I appreciate that.
eh,
It's like you said, we kind of knew you did it, but boy, to see somebody have it at their fingertips like that from 13 years ago, yeah. Again, who you are speaks so loud. I don't need to hear the words you're saying. So there's some proof, and I
well,
thank
you are
God for that.
so loved. You are so loved. And I think just in that it's really amazing because, it makes me feel good uh because just the way you are to share with other people. Hey, there's and it's weird how some people don't even want to take something that's free. That's always gets me. Oh no, I have a coach. I'm like, well, this is not a coach. You should at least check it out. I mean, and even if you have a mentor, I'm sure, Sean, you have never experienced anything like Sean. I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. So yeah, so I'm very excited to always share you with other people because you are this amazing person. So thank you, thank you, thank you for
You're
being
welcome,
you.
welcome, welcome.
And I love you.
Love you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Miss Diane Sweeney, I know you had your hand up just a moment ago. If you're open.
I have to go soon, but I just wanted to say, Sean, I've been reading the book again, and you know how all these things come back to you, and you are the epitome of the seven success rules that Napoleon Hill has said, because you cultivated your self-confidence, your enthusiasm, you're honest, you practice self-denial, and you use your willpower, you're unselfish, and you concentrate all your effort on the work that you do. And that's the key. I think that's the magic key, that once you have that attitude, you'll always have it. You'll never lose it. And I think that you're a good example of that. And that's what resonated with me last night when I read this. So I just wanted to give you some kudos
I
there.
love it.
Um, and just your being in your person and being in your like at the ranch, you have that you're humble and say you have such a favorable impression that you just pass on to us. So I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Aw, I love you, Diane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for popping back in. I know you got to run, but thank you, thank you, thank you. So,
Thank you. Love you.
what a joy. Love you too. Hugs to all. Anyone else? Last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, take with yous. AJ is on his way to Serbia, so he is on the way home. He will be tired, a little tuckered out young man. And yeah, he was spectacular. He's probably grown enough that there's probably still a tiptoe here on the ranch. That's how much he stretched himself. He did. He put in the work. Yeah, it was fun to see. So, and of course, when he had his conversation sometime with Michelle, we didn't have a fire around the fire pit, but we sat over here, for those of you that know the fire pit, and he said that was probably the most powerful conversation. I go, it's always Michelle, right? You guys know how I kid around. Yet that dialogue was just, he said, I had never heard that. I said, well, you've probably heard me mention it, that Michelle says it, but it's different when you hear it from her. So love it, love it, love it.
Good morning, John.
And your name came up multiple times as her favorite student.
You said her name. I had to show my face, man. No, really, I am very grateful for you. I just listening to this morning. Text me back to the morning I met you in the parking lot. It was very life changing. Very life
I
changing.
agree. For me is for me more.
It's interesting you talked this morning about the age 40, because I turned 40 this year. It's funny because our music director, he told me a couple months ago, he goes, hey, Brad, he goes, men are just dumb until they're 40. I was like, well, at least I have hope.
Did you tell him? I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's true, man. I can already feel, I think, gosh, 4 years now. I think it was right after my 36th birthday when we met you on July 2nd. So it's been a great journey, man. I'm excited to see what's about to happen, what is happening, and it's a lot of fun.
I love it. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, AJ was 18 when I met him.
Wow.
18 and piss and vinegar. He's got a little bit of a I don't want to say an attitude. He has this tremendous confidence and this tremendous wall that he's built. His warrior's got to be 1,000 feet tall. The way that he has these conversations. Shammy was 27. Oh my God. Shammy, I didn't know. How old are you? Well, I'm not allowed to ask women how old they are. But wow, 2019. Dang. I love these people. I love you all. So yeah, he's 24 now, and he's starting to take the edges off, because one of the conversations I had with him, I said, you realize that when you speak another language and you use cuss words, whether you think it's a cool thing or not, they still put out a vibration.
Yeah.
So he got here Monday, and so about Thursday, I said, I don't want to hear those. I'm not going to listen to those words anymore. So I'll just ask you, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
And so I was working on him shifting that frequency. And it was interesting. By Monday, when we left in the car on the way home, on the way him going home to the airport in Little Rock, his language was already changing. I said, how does it feel to be able to use that different language? He said, I don't want to admit it. He said, I don't have that like little pinch, that little energy feeling, but I realized now it was an uncomfortable energy feeling. So, well, words are words. It's not some secret message that I have or training I have. It's just words have frequency and words have vibration. Yeah.
Changes a lot.
He grew a lot this week. Yeah.
It's not about
and again, Michelle was speaking about you. That's how she starts off after she starts talking about manifestation and this, that, and that. And she said, well, active meditation, and Brad, who's a good student of this, his active meditation is working out. Right. And so and AJ's like, Brad, that's the big guy in Texas. I said, Oklahoma. He says, yeah, Oklahoma.
That's funny.
So
it works.
Michelle can't have that conversation without you being spoken of in the highest of regards.
That's special, and I do not take that for granted.
Yeah, she doesn't speak about me that way.
Yeah. Well, Heidi speaks more highly of you than me, so I think
hey, listen, we got it.
Evens it out.
Beggars can't be choosers. We'll take it wherever we can get it.
And you can't be a prophet in your own home. We all know this.
Oh, tell me about that one. I'm like, I try to show up as a beggar, so at least I get fed.
How's that working for you? It looks like you're losing weight, man. Every time I see you.
with AJ here, I've put on a couple of pounds, so I'll be doing some long intermittent fasting here.
That's awesome.
I love it.
I love you, brother. I just wanted to say good morning.
Good morning. Thank
you for all you do, my friend.
You too. There you go. Shammy, I love you. I've always loved you. I will always love you. You are just such an amazing frequency. And I don't know if it's your size, if it's your vibration. You just have, it's all of that. But your voice is just, your energy is just so spectacular. And I've always loved watching you grow, and the questions you asked, and the questions you've always asked were such exponentially far from where you were, because that's your creative capability to ask a bigger question. You always ask big questions. So I love you all. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's another day in the books, October 7th in the books. I appreciate you all so very much. We will see you tomorrow morning. I'm your head brain training, sex transmutating misfit. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
All righty. And somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura vida.
We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
And the queen of helping you turn interesting energy into its physical requirement, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
We love you, girl. And little white fluffy.
Groovy.
All right, everybody, go have some fun today. I love you tons. Bye for now.
Love you, Sean.